Oil has long been one of the most, if not the most, coveted substances on the planet. It powers entire economies, fuels our cars, and keeps many of us warm at night. Petroleum became so valuable during the 20th century that it was even dubbed black gold. Now, the world is turning its gaze away from oil to a new substance, white gold, otherwise known as lithium. With the threat of climate change looming over the horizon, companies all over the planet are looking for sustainable alternatives, and lithium might just be the key to powering our future. This is why every country on Earth could soon be thirsting for lithium, and why some nations are poised to massively benefit. If you were to ask a passerby on the street to name a precious metal or substance, the vast majority would think of platinum, silver, or petroleum. They wouldn't be wrong, especially about the last one. Despite our best efforts, fossil fuel energy production is still what mostly keeps the world's lights switched on at night. Those with some deeper knowledge might list aluminium, iron, and manganese as vital minerals too. In 2021, the world mined over 56 million tons of manganese ore, 60 million tons of aluminium, and 3 billion tons of iron ore. Safe to say, global production would grind to a halt should the extraction of any of these three metals come to an end. Only a select few of those with the most foresight would mention an element that very few people have even heard of: lithium. It's a silvery, soft alkali metal that is mined all over the planet. The largest reserves are found in Chile, Australia, Argentina, and China, which are also the largest exporters of the metal in the world. That said, lithium isn't exactly rare. Unlike metals like cobalt, which is essential for producing smartphones but can only be extracted from lands at the heart of the African continent, lithium is found on all 6 inhabited continents. Scientists have no fear that the planet's lithium reserves will one day run out, something that can't be said about the supply of raw petroleum. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, put it plainly: lithium is everywhere. Lithium is one of the most common elements in the universe. You can get lithium from seawater if you wanted to. As long as humanity possesses the technology to extract it, there won't be any great lithium shortages anytime soon. But there's a catch. The lithium used in industrial production doesn't come neatly put together by Mother Nature herself. Just as we need to turn crude petroleum into its refined version to fuel our cars, so too do we need to process raw lithium extracted from brine, water saturated with a high volume of salt, or ore into chemical compounds that can be used in production. This means the extraction and processing of lithium are both energy-intensive endeavors, which, ironically, can only be powered through fossil fuels, since no company has so far managed to find an environmentally friendly alternative. One controversial player on the world stage has an iron grip on this market, but we'll get to that later. Why even go through all the effort of extracting lithium in the first place? What is it used for? While it's often included in pharmaceutical products and in the creation process for glass, the reason why lithium is being mentioned in the headlines is because it's a key component of lithium-ion batteries. The metal is prized for its incredible heat and electrical conductivity properties, making it a natural fit for the production of batteries. Never have batteries been more vital to the world economy than today, and experts are predicting that our dependency will only continue to grow. The need for lithium may just be the key driving force behind the electric revolution, a societal upheaval that's set to completely change how we view energy. After many decades of debate and research, the majority of the world's nations seem to have finally agreed on one simple fact: climate change is real. Humanity can't keep relying on fossil fuels to power its industries. The environmental impacts of climate change will be felt for generations to come, so many have turned to alternatives to keep the world turning. Electric vehicles are at the center of this massive environmental transition. What is the key component that keeps these new electric cars powered? That's right, lithium-ion batteries. It's no wonder that the global demand for lithium carbonate skyrocketed by 1,000% in 2022. Azure Minerals in Australia has noticed a 1,100% demand increase for lithium too. It's not just traditionally green companies that are noticing this trend either. Fossil fuel companies, who historically have opposed the switch toward green energy sources and more sustainable alternatives, have also thrown their hat into the ring. ExxonMobil, the historic American American oil giant, is making big moves as it plans to stay relevant in the global shift away from petroleum. The company hopes to use its drilling experience to start extracting lithium in America. In June 2023, ExxonMobil agreed to develop over 6,000 acres of lithium-rich brine deposits in Arkansas along with Tetra Technologies. Most shocking of all are the moves made by Saudi Aramco, the petroleum refinery company owned by the Saudi royal family. Saudi Arabia has built its entire legacy and advantageous position on the world stage through petroleum, yet now is starting to look for alternatives to stay on top of its game. The royal family has already made efforts to clean up its image by buying the Premier League club Newcastle United through the Saudi Investment Fund, but has also now invested heavily into extracting minerals used in battery production. Again, in June 2023, the Australian startup European Lithium and Saudi Arabian Oberkun Investment Group agreed to construct a lithium hydroxide processing plant in the Middle Eastern country. Some have pointed out that lithium mining itself isn't exactly the most environmentally sound process. When it was announced that the United States would be opening up the enormous Thacker Pass lithium mine in Nevada, protesters opposed the project by stating that it would infringe upon indigenous peoples' lands, release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and deplete all the water supply available in the area. But if you were to look outside into the street, nobody would fault you for feeling a little confused. After all, the vast majority of cars are still powered by fossil fuels. Why are companies so quick to jump on the lithium bandwagon? On March 1st, 2023, Elon Musk spoke at the much anticipated Tesla Investor Day. He announced what he calls his Master Plan Part 3. Musk aims to completely revolutionize the transport industry. Tesla focuses primarily on developing commercially available electric cars for now, but at its core, Tesla is an energy company. Musk wants to expand into other markets, including electric planes and trains. In short, the billionaire wants to make every single aspect of the transport sector powered by electricity rather than unsustainable, insufficient fossil fuels. It's an ambitious goal, but considering Musk's success with Tesla so far, it's not outside the realms of possibility. If such a revolution were to take place soon, companies that have made petroleum or natural gas their main focus will be caught in a tight situation. But it's not just the likes of Saudi Aramco and ExxonMobil that need to be planning for the future. Governments all over the world might not be ready for the drastic shift lithium production will no doubt bring about. As mentioned prior, there's no long-term fear that the Earth will one day run out of lithium to provide us with. Right now, however, suppliers simply aren't able to meet the rising demands. Processing is key, and although countries like Chile sit on highly coveted reserves in the South American mountains, dubbed the Lithium Triangle, which hold 65% of the planet's reserves, China has cemented itself as the king of the lithium processing global market. Currently, China controls 60% of the global capacity to transform raw lithium into chemical compounds used in batteries. This is worrying for Western nations. The world is already dependent on China for the production of electronics. Allowing the country to maintain an unshakable grip on the lithium market would be a catastrophic mistake. On no other continent is this more of an issue than in Europe. European nations such as Denmark and Portugal are some of the biggest advocates of the green transition in the world, and have made great progress in switching to electric alternatives to keep their energy sources sustainable. As such, lithium-ion batteries are in great demand, but as these countries don't produce any lithium chemicals used in batteries, they're forced to import the components from other nations, primarily China. 44% of all lithium chemical compounds in Europe come from China. Just as the European Union made a point of ending its dependency on Russian gas after the invasion of Ukraine, so too has the EU committed its resources to cutting off China as its main source of lithium compounds. In her 2022 State of the European Union address, President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen warned that EU member states were heading towards the exact same dependency scenario with China as with Russia. She voiced her plan to establish bilateral agreements with Chile, Mexico, India, Australia and New Zealand to diversify their sources of the essential metal. In June 2023, von der Leyen travelled to Chile to sign a historic agreement that would see the EU invest $225 million into the development of the South American country's energy sector, hoping to meet the rising demands for lithium batteries that the European Commission president predicts will rise 12-fold by 2030. As such, though China certainly sits atop the lithium processing throne at the moment, that's subject to change. The Western nations aren't ready to repeat the mistakes of the past, and the countries holding the large lithium reserves are eager to take advantage of their geographical position as the world enters a new era of energy production. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Rise for more content like this in the future.